Hey Dwellers, to stay up to date on all the latest news, reviews, openings, and of course weekly programming, just click on the little guy here in the corner to subscribe and you'll get notifications when the newest content lands. And please enjoy the video. Hello Dwellers, and welcome to another review with me, Shadow Soul Dweller, and today we are reviewing Assassin's Creed Origins. Now, obviously I did my first impressions video not long ago on this one. I'm doing a video now as I've completed the main story of the game. And basically, going to throw a few in there. Obviously, spoiler alert. So if you haven't completed the game, I am going to be making references for the entire game, including the end. So basically, I don't want to ruin the game for you because that would just suck. Obviously, if you are still playing it, you know, just really enjoy it. I really hope it's doing it for you as it done for me. Because I'm going to say now, this is a positive review. Very pleased with how the game came out as a whole. So let's get started. I'll start off with the whole backstory of the game. It's got in there. I love the fact that they've really fleshed out everything about it. They've given you're in ancient Egypt. The last of the pharaohs is standing. You've got the Magi, the protectors of Egypt, are still around, and obviously your main character Bayek is one of the Magi. And I like right at the beginning they explain to you why you're hunting down the people that you're hunting. There's no messing around with it such, and they draw you into that backstory, which then they flesh out that story as you go along, so you have a second story that runs on top of it. They've done all this in a really open, beautiful world they've created. It's very different in all the different areas you go into. The map is absolutely huge, and it's just an amazing piece they've done. I expected it to be a really big, good map anyway, because it's the same team that did Black Flag, but they've really outdone themselves on this one. So basically, the main character you play as is Bayek of Siwa, and he's a fantastic character. I'm really happy what they did with this character. He's a very realistic person. The interactions in the world that they've created with the other AI is absolutely amazing. It's especially when you're in Siwa, the way people just respond like they've seen an old friend, and the way they react. It's not repetitive stuff like you get in a lot of the other games. It really gives us little conversations going around, and the world around you, the way it acts as well, indirectly or directly with Bayek, really adds to it. Especially it shows how he's a really caring man as well. You see how he responds when the kids are around him, and the fact he genuinely really wants to help people, not just because it's forced upon him. And the fact as well, him being a family man and having a wife that he loves in the game, and seeing how their relationship deals with the story as well. It really adds an extra layer and extra depth that not just in Assassin's Creed but in a lot of other games, I think they really miss that reality of making you believe these are two people that are in love with each other, and in Origins they've done that absolutely down to a T. Now, going into the play of the game, obviously the skill building with the skill tree, developing the character and leveling up system, it's added something I really wasn't sure how to feel with Assassin's Creed going in that route, because that works for some games, but Assassin's Creed all seems to be your own skills, not actually leveling up. Pleasantly surprised the fact that it turned out to be fantastic. You've really got to evaluate, are you a high enough level and to take on the enemies that are in front of you. Obviously, you've got enemies that are like level 30 and you're level 20, you're going to get your ass kicked. So it's not worth trying to do it. In that aspect as well, you can pick what skills you want to go as you go through your skill tree, and because of that, it allows you to a good degree customize and shape the sort of gameplay you want to have. Do you want to build up your combat skills, you can charge head on? Do you want to build up your seer skill so you can do things like interact with animals better and change certain things using like throwing darts? You've got poison darts. Or do you want to go the hunting route where you can focus a lot more on like your bows, your speed and things like that? It really gives you a nice shape of everything you can do. And obviously that also ties in with another element added to the game in the form of the replacement for eagle vision. Obviously Senu is an eagle, literally, that flies up and you can use like a drone. And again, this is something I didn't like when I first saw it. I thought it was a horrible way of going. Very pleasantly was wrong. Actually, it turns out it's a fantastic way of going, because you can use Senu to look over the area and map it as you go. But then when you go back down, you have to focus on the gameplay yourself. And another thing with this, obviously, they took the mini map out that's been in all the other Assassin's Creed games. So because the mini map's been removed, you have to focus exactly what's on in front of you instead and navigate yourself. And it really made it for a really rich, endearing experience when trying to go through a den, not being able to just look in the bottom left hand corner and see where enemies were and that nearby. It just made you have to think and act, and you had to be more tactical. So you're playing into that as well. The range of weaponry and the combat in this game, they've taken a combat style that they used to use in Prince of Persia, which, for those that don't know, obviously the first Assassin's Creed game actually was made from a Prince of Persia game, but the game didn't go through. It was picked up. Ubisoft carried on, create the first Assassin's Creed game off the basis they did with it. He was doing a full rebuild. So to see them put those Prince of Persia elements into it, and those little Easter eggs as well for Prince of Persia, was really, really nice to see. The combat, though, it makes you really think. You have to learn how to do the combat system and counteract, and you can't just charge in and fight a load of people, and you have to try and pick the right weapon for the situation, dodge at the right time or deflect. Sometimes it's better to fight from a distance with a bow and arrow. It just really makes you have to engage in the game and get sucked into it to learn and learn and learn and keep practicing, rather than the other Assassin's Creed games. As much as I've always loved all of them in their entirety, well, except maybe for Uni, you still had to just go in, learn how to counter-attack, and then you could counter-attack with any weapon all the time throughout the game, and if you knew what you were doing, you were almost invulnerable to all fighting. But moving off that, one of the great things I like as well is the timeline plugs. Obviously, it's Origins. It's telling the story of how the Assassins came to be in the game. In fact, you get the first Requiescat in Pace in it. The first hidden blade gets used into it. You know, I said, spoilers, sorry, but at the end of the game, obviously, you get to find out who Amunet is, who was the first assassin to truly attack a king or a queen. Obviously, and was the assassin responsible for Cleopatra. And the fact as well, they've managed to tie it in with accurate history modules. So this game has actually, like a lot of other Assassin's Creed games, it's actually quite educational in the way it's built up. I have young children myself. My eldest, she's learning about ancient Egypt at the moment, and she's been able to pick up things from the game that she's learned and then be able to take them to school. So to know they've gone for that proper historical accuracy in the game, just really, really, it adds something to it that a lot of other games miss when they twist around with the timelines. And basically, on top of all that, like I said, gameplay's amazing in a gigantic world. Side missions are plenty everywhere, all the time. And then you've got things like the animal dens as well. And there's so much to do in this game. It just keeps you going and going and going. I completed the main game. I've explored all over the place, and I zoomed out at the end and realised I'd covered half the map. So half the map I hadn't even touched, and I thought I'd been everywhere. So definitely a game worth grabbing for anybody who just enjoys any sort of adventure game. It's just, to me, this is the Assassin's Creed game that we've been waiting for since the next generation consoles, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, hit the market. Unity didn't hit the mark, they rushed it too much. Syndicate was good, but didn't hit the mark either. Origins has absolutely smashed through the barrier, and I can already see from looking online and the things that I found, people are being drawn into this game. Hopefully it's going to be the game that saves Assassin's Creed as a series, because it doesn't deserve the treatment it's actually had in its last few incarnations. So, I give 9 out of 10 on this game easy. The only thing that stops it from going to a 10 is the storyline could have been a bit longer, but it was still quite a long storyline. It wasn't as short as you got with, say, Syndicate, for example. And there are a few glitches and bugs in it still, which, we accept that now because we expect it from Ubisoft. But I've had, once ever the game's actually frozen and I had to restart the game, everything else is just either funny or very small inconvenience at the time that usually is just like a frame drop and then a few moments later it's fixed again. So it's something that would easily be fixed in the first patch, which is coming out in January along with the first DLC. So yeah, a great game for people that are new, that haven't played the series. I would advise get this game. People that have played the previous games, definitely get this. It's just worth every single moment for it. I brought the Gods Edition, so I got my statue bear, etc. with it as well, and worth every single penny. You know, it's a bit of a gamble when a game series has dipped up and down a little bit, but this was worth absolutely every single penny available. Anyway, that's me for this review. Let me know what you think of the game, what you've seen, what you've played, your favourite things, what your favourite photos are. I'd love to know what other people think of this, because so far I've just picked up positive from it, but I'd just love to know what everyone else's interpretation is. And as always, other videos out this week. My top 10, if you haven't seen it already, is out this week as well. The top 10 games that have saved their franchise or their series. And you will also be seeing next week, I will be doing looking back, and that will be on Sonic 1 and 2, back on the Sega Mega Drive, Master System, Genesis, or whatever you want to call them. So tune in for those. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I know I mentioned it a few times in the videos. So guys, the love and support I've had lately is fantastic as well. So thank you everybody who's actually been in contact with me, especially knowing that I haven't been at 100%. And I will see you out there, guys. And as always, thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you liked it. Also, if you want to stay up to date as well, another way is you can catch me on Facebook. The address just there on the screen. And of course, for more videos, you just look to your left there. You can see that'll be one of the latest videos that's landed. And to the right here is a video picked by YouTube just for you. And of course, hit the guy in the middle to subscribe if you haven't already to stay up to date on all the latest content.